Have you ever wondered why your flight from New York to Tokyo curves dramatically northward over Alaska, seemingly taking the longest possible route? The answer lies in one of humanity's greatest visual deceptions, our maps. Every day, millions of passengers glance at their seatback screens, puzzled by flight paths that appear to defy common sense. The culprit behind this confusion is the Mercator projection, the world map we've all grown up with. This 16th-century cartographic marvel transforms our spherical planet into a flat rectangle, but at a tremendous cost to accuracy. Greenland appears larger than Africa on these maps, when in reality, Africa is 14 times bigger. This distortion doesn't just affect landmass perception, it fundamentally warps our understanding of distance and direction on a global scale. The sphere we call home, understanding flight paths, requires abandoning our flat world thinking and embracing Earth's true spherical nature. When pilots plot the shortest route between two distant cities, they're recalculating what mathematicians call a great circle route, the shortest distance between 2 points on a sphere. Imagine stretching a string across a globe between New York and London. That curved path represents the most efficient route through three-dimensional space. This concept becomes mind-bending when we realize that what appears as a dramatic northward detour on a flat map is actually the most direct path possible. A flight from Los Angeles to Dubai naturally arcs over the Arctic, not because pilots enjoy scenic routes, but because they're following the fundamental geometry of our planet. The Earth's curvature makes these seemingly indirect paths the mathematical shortest distance between destinations. The equatorial challenge zone, the equator, presents one of aviation's most formidable obstacles. Though it remains invisible to passengers, this imaginary line marking Earth's waist creates a meteorological nightmare that commercial aviation actively avoids whenever possible. The equatorial region experiences year-round tropical conditions that generate massive atmospheric instability, with air temperatures reaching up to 95 degrees Fahrenheit and humidity levels consistently above 80%. This hot, moisture-laden air creates perfect conditions for severe weather phenomena. The intertropical convergence zone, a band of perpetual storms that circles the globe near the equator, produces towering cumulonimbus clouds reaching heights of 60,000 feet, well above typical cruising altitudes. Airlines report that flights crossing equatorial regions experience turbulence rates 3 times higher than those at temperate latitudes, making passenger comfort and safety a primary concern in route planning decisions. Rivers of wind in the sky high above our heads flow invisible highways of air, called jet streams, rivers of wind racing across the globe at speeds reaching 200 miles per hour. These atmospheric currents, discovered accidentally by World War II bomber pilots, have revolutionized modern aviation by providing natural propulsion systems for eastbound flights. A typical transatlantic flight from London to New York takes about 8 hours, while the return journey averages just 6.5 hours, thanks to favorable jet stream assistance. These aerial highways aren't static. They shift daily based on seasonal patterns and weather systems. Airlines employ specialized meteorologists who create real-time wind maps, allowing pilots to surf these atmospheric currents like invisible waves. A single strategic course adjustment to catch a favorable jet stream can save airlines up to $10,000 in fuel costs per flight, making wind navigation a crucial component of modern aviation economics. The hidden costs of crossing borders. Every mile of airspace above our planet belongs to someone, and crossing these invisible boundaries comes with a price tag that would surprise most passengers. Countries charge airlines overflight fees ranging from a few hundred to several $1,000s per crossing, depending on the nation and aircraft size. Russia, controlling the world's largest airspace, charges some of the highest fees, up to $3,000 per flight for large commercial aircraft traversing Siberian routes. These aerial tolls create a complex economic puzzle for flight planners. Airlines often choose longer routes to avoid expensive airspace, even if it means adding 30 minutes to flight time, for example. Many European carriers flying to Asian destinations deliberately route around certain Eastern European countries, adding hundreds of miles to their journey while saving thousands of dollars in fees. The 2022 closure of Russian airspace to Western airlines following geopolitical tensions forced complete route restructuring, increasing flight times by up to 2 hours and operational costs by 15 to 20%. Restricted skies and no-fly zones beyond commercial considerations. Vast portions of our skies remain permanently off-limits to civilian aircraft. Military installations, nuclear facilities, and sensitive government locations create invisible barriers that force aircraft into elaborate detours. The area surrounding Area 51 in Nevada, for instance, extends restricted airspace for nearly 600 square miles, requiring all commercial flights to navigate around this classified zone. Some restrictions exist for purely practical reasons. Large portions of the Pacific and Indian Oceans fall under extended range twin engine operational performance standards (ETOPS) regulations, which require aircraft to remain within a certain distance of suitable emergency landing airports. This rule forces flights between Australia and South America to follow coastal routes rather than taking direct trans-Pacific paths, adding hours to journey times but ensuring passenger safety in case of emergency situations. The vertical highway system aviation's complexity extends beyond horizontal navigation into carefully orchestrated vertical traffic management. Altitude changes require significant energy expenditure, with each 1,000-foot climb consuming approximately 150 gallons of additional fuel for a typical commercial airliner. Pilots must constantly balance optimal cruise altitudes with air traffic control requirements, weather conditions, and fuel efficiency considerations. Modern aircraft computer systems calculate these variables continuously, adjusting flight plans in real time to find the perfect balance between speed, fuel consumption, and passenger comfort throughout the journey. The smart path philosophy: next time you settle into your airline seat and watch your flights progress on the entertainment system, remember that every curve, detour, and seemingly illogical path represents careful calculation by teams of experts. What appears as pilot confusion or airline inefficiency is actually a masterpiece of applied physics, meteorology, economics, and international diplomacy working in perfect harmony. The aviation industry has transformed air travel into one of humanity's greatest logistical achievements, moving over 4 billion passengers annually while maintaining extraordinary safety records. Each flight represents a victory over Earth's spherical geometry, unpredictable weather patterns, political boundaries, and economic pressures, all invisible to passengers, enjoying their complimentary peanuts at 35,000 feet above the ground. Join the World Documentaries family and discover the hidden stories behind everyday phenomena that shape our world. If this exploration of aviation mysteries fascinated you, hit that subscribe button and share your own travel observations in the comments below. Have you ever noticed unusual flight paths during your travels? What other seemingly simple topics would you like us to investigate? Your curiosity drives our content, and we'd love to hear about the mysteries that keep you wondering.